What's going on, guys? So, I thought that I would touch on a subject today about demanding users or demanding followers who primarily just kind of come to your YouTube channel and just start asking for things that maybe you can't give them. And they throw a hissy fit afterwards because for whatever reason, that's just the way that they think. So, my story for this one is I actually run a main YouTube channel where I do a lot of Blender. Now, if you don't know what Blender is, it's a 3D software. So naturally, I go and I do all my Blender and stuff like that. And this one guy contacts me and he says, oh, do you know how to use XYZ the software? And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. I don't know how to use it, kind of thing. And I thought that was the end of the conversation. He then turns around to me and he says, well, I was wondering whether you could do some tutorials for me on that piece of software. And I'm thinking, like, he's clearly not read the comment that I've replied with him to, kind of thing, or replied to him with. Because I've just put, I don't know what the software is, I don't know how to use it, I've never used it, you know what I mean? End of conversation. And this guy goes, oh, right, okay. So then I'm doing a live stream later on. And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm on live stream. I think I was on Rust at the time. And I sat there and I went, I'm just playing Rust. I'm making buildings. And I thought that this user was saying like, oh, what are you doing? You're playing the game wrong, kind of thing. So naturally, I'm waiting for this kind of like, oh, have you tried playing the game like this? Oh, I've got a high score. How many hours do you have? It's generally the typical conversation that many gamers have. But no, he turns around to me and he says, well, where are these tutorials that I asked you to do? And I said, like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, I told you about a software a while ago. You remember that, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I asked you to do some tutorials. And I told him again, I don't know what the software is. I don't know how to use it. And, like, I can't make tutorials or teach you how to use it if I myself do not know how to use it. You know what I mean? So I try to put it in the most basic kind of terms, so to speak, so that this guy would kind of realise, I don't know what I'm doing with this software. Please stop asking, you know what I mean? So I actually researched this software. It is £200 to own per month. I sat there and I went, hang on a minute, this guy wants me to pay for £200 worth of software to make tutorials for him that he's probably never going to watch. I don't have £200 just to waste per month to learn a software and then teach it to you. Like, that's ridiculous, right? So I'm thinking, like, this is the end of the conversation. I've told the guy, I don't know what the software is. I'm not doing it. End of story, right? So then I get onto another live stream a while later and my admin just happened to be on the stream. And this guy goes, oh, have you changed your mind about the software? What? Have you changed your mind about the software? And I played dumb at first. I said, what software? And he was like, oh, it's software I keep asking you to buy and to teach me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, I've already told you like 3 or 4 times in the comment sections and on the live streams, I'm not doing it. And he like put this really sad kind of crying face emoji. And I was just sat there going like, dude, take no for an answer. Like, really take no for an answer because it's not happening. Like, I'm not spending that amount of money. And at the time as well, I was actually unemployed. So any money that I had was going towards feeding my family. So, like, I don't know what was going through his head. I really don't. But, you're going to get demanding users on YouTube, and it's a topic that many people haven't touched because people are under this impression that they have to do everything that their subscribers ask them to do so that they get the views and they get that and the other. No, in a nutshell. Like, I'm not spending £200 a month just to teach you a software that I don't even know. Like, where's the logic in that? You know what I mean? That's wasting money at the end of the day. A lot of people will probably say, oh, just buy the software, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. I'm not buying random software for a random stranger. Now, if this stranger had turned around to me and said, hey, can I commission some art from you? I'll pay for the software, I'll pay for all the resources, blah, 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 your time. I probably would have turned around and said, yeah, no problem. You know what I mean? Because that's something logical, right? But then you have this other side of people, especially when they see that you're an artist online, that will turn around and say, well, can you build something for me? And you go, yeah, of course, okay, yeah, I charge X amount per hour, or you can pay for the project afterwards. And you start to negotiate a price, you start to negotiate with people, what they want, and in regards to how you can build it and how long it's going to take, and, the pricing in regards to that. This guy turns around to me and goes, yeah, I want you to build an entire city for me. So I'm like, right, okay, no problem. So, all on Blender kind of thing. We haven't signed any contracts at this point. So I'm like, right, okay, well, I've got a Fiverr account. We can hook up on there so it's all official and it goes for official channels. Because, when you've got this sixth sense that something's just wrong. So, he doesn't want to go through Fiverr. He wants to bring me on to another website. I forget the name of it. Discord. He wants to bring me onto Discord. So we chat on Discord. And I said, right, okay, this is how much I charge per hour. He was like, no, I want it for free. I'll pay in exposure. He'll pay me in exposure. I'm not being funny here, but I don't get paid in exposure. There's no way. I said to this guy, who are you exposing me to? He was like, oh, well, I know a lot of people in the industry, you could be a really popular artist, blah, 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 and I'm just sat there going, dude, who do you know in the industry? Who are you exposing me to? Because if you're just saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you exposure, that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? And I thought, I'm not spending hours of my time building something for you and not getting paid for it. That's not happening. Fair enough, I do YouTube as a hobby, and I'm building my main channel up to get to the YouTube partnership. It's only maybe a couple of 100 watch hours off now, which is a good thing. But at the same time, I don't get paid in exposure. You know what I mean? I think that people have this interpretation, so to speak, that YouTubers are rich people and that we have everything. You know what I mean? It's most of us don't even have the YouTube partnership. We don't have sponsors. And many of the sponsors that many of the YouTubers have don't pay out. You know what I mean? They don't pay out the way that they're advertised to be. And that's a horrible truth of YouTube, unfortunately, but it happens. Not everybody's rich. And not everybody can afford just random stuff just because someone demands it of you. So generally I take people with a pinch of salt, especially when it comes to YouTube, because I just kind of sit there and I go you're making all these demands, but you're not offering to pay for anything. You know what I mean? And I think that when you've got users who are just super demanding, I think that these are the type of people that they've never heard no within their lifetime. They've never been told no. Maybe they've been spoiled when they're younger. Maybe they've just got everything that they ever wanted, and you just happen to be there and you're the first person who said no to them. So it's a very interesting concept. Very interesting. And then there was someone who was demanding that I go onto Discord and privately tutor them with Blender 24/7 anytime that they would like me to be available. You know what I mean? So it's I was on call essentially on Discord. This is what they wanted, for me to answer any questions at any time during the day. And I just sat there and I went, I'm not doing that either. Are you paying me to do that? And they went, no. And I was like, well, there you go then. I'm not doing that for you, because why should I be answering questions 24/7 just for you to either ignore me or not pay me? Excuse me. So, yeah, I've had my fair share of demanding users. What did I do with these users afterwards? Absolutely nothing. I hid users from channel. I ignored users. I generally just... I was polite with them, don't get me wrong. I tried to be. But at the same time, if you're going to be demanding, no. Like, if you want to pay for my services, then yeah, you know, happily. I will have you on Fiverr, or we can arrange something, you know what I mean? But if you're just going to sit there and go, oh, yeah, I'll pay you an exposure, and I want the files before I pay you, no, that doesn't happen, because you're not going to pay me. You know what I mean? Like, guaranteed, people are probably not going to pay me. You know, I'm 32 years old. I've seen my fair share of tricks that people do to get freebies. I'm not a stranger to it. By any means, I'm not a stranger to it. So when people become demanding on your YouTube channel or your social medias and stuff like that, I think it's just best to let them be. And just politely tell them, sorry, I'm not doing that, but maybe don't apologise, you know what I mean? Just firmly tell them, like, I'm not able to do that right now, or, you know, even saying right now, they might come back, you know what I mean? So basically putting boundaries in place definitely would help. Yeah, I hope that was helpful for you guys. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Do me a favour and hit the like and the subscribe if you've got this far. Appreciate it.